After taking more than 2 weeks off of XDefiant, I'm still #1 in the world with time played on Highwaymen. But that title is up for grabs now because I have a new faction I'll be playing.
Ho ho ho!
Hey guys, Nightfall here, and with the newest content drop or content dump, we got some pretty interesting new factions with the Assassins, the Wolves, and Omega Force. And if these were the factions planned for the next 3 seasons, I'm here to tell you that I would have racked up a ton of hours playing one of them. But which one? You might think it would be the Wolves faction given my liking of the Highwaymen turret, and all the Wolves have is just crazy AI controlled drones that they probably borrowed from Activision, but you'd be wrong. And I damn sure ain't running around as a dude with a mullet that looks like the damn Terminator. So I'd be rocking the Assassins, and I have been since I came back to the game a few days ago. And never having touched a single Assassin's Creed game for more than 5 minutes, this was sort of a shock to me because I don't really know anything about them. But their abilities are just insane. Now, there's no telling if these would have been nerfed or something at some point down the road, but I think it's pretty safe to say that I'm sticking with this one. It's almost like going back to my Echelon roots before they nerfed them into the ground, making them basically unplayable. But before I review the new Assassin faction and show you just how broken they really are, I want to explain why I'm leaving the Highwaymen. We've had some pretty good times and I found some awesome turret spots, but their downfall all started with this map here, Signal, which is pretty ironic considering this map was themed just for them. But when this map first came out, I struggled to find any really good turret placements, as did most everybody else, and it just sucked to play. That was until I found out about this spot here. This almost made up for the lack of other turret spots across the entire map because this one was just so satisfying to snipe the entire team before they can even get into position, and then give my team a free 10 or 15% push right off the start, all while being completely invincible to the enemy team. But then they went and fucking ruined it. They just made the wall high enough and ruined all the fun. And the worst part is, they couldn't even throw a funny little Easter egg in there and put some writing on the wall like, don't even think about it or anything like that. Just slap in the face. So sure, that's only one map, but that started to get me thinking about what other factions are out there. And then when I took a break and came back, and now we have all these new factions, including the Assassins, and let me tell you, I don't think there's any going back now. I did enjoy my time with the turrets, but let's get real for a minute. The abilities the Assassins have are just OP as hell. Let's start off with their passive. Like a lot of people predicted, it's a one-hit melee kill, but they were able to do this in a way that doesn't make it insanely broken. I mean, when you play people with no headsets, it is tons of fun to just go around stabbing people in the back, but if you hold the melee button, it jabs a knife, killing them instantly, but it sort of locks you in place for a second. And you also still have your normal melee if you just tap the melee button, which is a fair trade-off. Then they have the ability that I use most of the time called Eagle Vision, which is basically lore accurate from what I can tell, and turns your whole screen blue, and you're able to see a red trail of where the enemy has been, so you can just track them down and kill them. Also, getting kills with the passive, which is called Hidden Blade, when you're in that ability, will increase the amount of time that you spend in it. Now it sounds OP, but I don't think it's too broken given that the number of times you actually get to do that is almost none, and you could still easily be killed in this ability. Next up is the Cherry Bomb ability, which at first use and reading what it did, I thought was the most useless thing ever. But after actually getting hit by it myself and seeing how it actually affects the enemy, I thought it could be pretty useful, but also very situational, which sort of turns me away from it because I want to be able to use my ability every time I get it. What it does is it basically stuns you, and the best way I can describe it is, remember the original spider bot, not the stripped down one that we got later or the reworked one that we have now, but basically you get stopped from moving, you can still shoot, but you're not really ever going to hit anyone because I don't even think you can ADS, so good luck. But then we get to the most amazing thing in the Assassin's toolkit, their Ultra. It's called Apple of Eden, and basically you can see that as long as you can see a person, you can teleport straight to them and instantly kill them. No ifs, ands, or buts about it. It does have a bell sound that plays for the person you target so they know when they're about to die. And if you're that person, you have very little time to react. Typically, once you hear that sound, you're as good as dead. It also lasts a decent amount of time as well, and you could probably kill the entire enemy team twice if you're quick enough and they line up for you. The drawback to using this though is with other people around, you're temporarily stunned after killing someone. So you can easily get shot at if you teleport to somebody that's next to somebody else and they're not completely brain dead. Usually it takes about a second or two to recharge before you can kill the next person. So it does take some thoughtful planning ahead of time before you just teleport to somebody. Really, the only counters against this are smoke or echelon cloak ability, and another funny counter that I haven't been able to pull off, but I think it would just be hilarious. As soon as you hear that bell sound, if you hold a frag grenade and time it just right, you might get it to explode before they can get far enough away from it after you drop it when they kill you. But anyway, right now, outside of ranked, because, well, who the hell cares about ranked anymore? For a solo player, the Assassins may just be the best faction in the game. I mean, they easily have some of the best skins in this game that I've seen, including this Astral Plane one here, which is just phenomenal. And this one here called Tengu's Zephyr is kind of a letdown for me because the mask that they're wearing is like a plague doctor mask, and I associate that with scary stuff. And while you can see, the rest of the outfit isn't really scary at all. It's just like flower power. So this one was a huge miss, and I really think they could have done something special with this next Halloween and given us a crazy good skin with this. And then of course you have the rest of the skins that you get for the mastery, the gold, the silver, the bronze, and then a few other ones that are all right, but nothing really crazy. But those first two, assuming, you know, the second one wasn't all flower themed for the other half of it, I would say there was a lot of potential there to have some really good skins coming later in this game. So if you needed any other reason outside of their insanely OP abilities to play this faction, look at the skins. And the huge downfall of playing this new faction is you're not really gaining any time played with them per se, because if you go to your profile and look over at your career stats, you'll see that all three of the new factions, despite the amount of time that you play them, are locked at under 1 hour. And the worst thing is that I think most of this entire page is just broken anyway, because I've been stuck at 9,999 kills since they've updated this page. And according to the XDefiant tracker on tracker.gg, I have well over 9,999 kills. And to make matters even worse, the tracker website isn't even updated to track the time played as the new factions either. So I'm just going to self-proclaim the title of #1 Assassins player in the world, because why not? Who's going to dispute it at this point? So what are your thoughts on the Assassins faction? Are they OP, balanced, need a buff? Let me know down in the comments, and I'll catch you guys in the next upload.